to another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well here. As you guys have seen from the title of this video, I will be showing you guys essentially how to create your own personal client success manager. Now, this really only applies to people that don't really have like a lot of clients and can't afford to hire like an actual CSM. Like, don't get the fact that this is a CSM, but at the same time, it doesn't do everything that an actual CSM does, okay? Like, this is just like specific things that can help your CSM and you out without having to, do a bunch of things, right? So hopefully this does make sense for you guys. What I'm gonna be doing is I will be showing you guys exactly like the whole thing of how this will pan out and how this works, right? So we're just gonna come into Slack real quick and we're just gonna test it out here. So we're in Slack right now, and we're going to just call our client success manager, which is Riley. And then we're just going to give them a question, okay? We're going to say, Riley, how do I get onboarded? Now, whenever you message a CSM, typically most of the time they're going to take a while to respond because they have a lot of other clients to get to, and such as that nature, right? So this is a very simple way to just create a CSM that's automated to where if people ask questions, let's say your client asks a question, boom, we're going to wait a minute here, and it's going to essentially give us the answer right about now. So that was weird. I don't know why. Maybe it doesn't really directly gives you the answers or the thing, or I guess sends you a message through like your personal. But I just went back into like this specific channel here. So this is my, you guys don't have to worry about this. This is just like ChatGPT transcript feedback videos. And if you guys want to see this type of this video, I do actually have a video where I have up in the channel where I show you guys how to create an automation where whenever you guys are done with a conversation on a meeting, ChatGPT will essentially give you guys all the problems and solutions with the client name, the problems that they have, and then the solutions that they have. So it's essentially giving you guys already notes. So you guys can see, how do I get onboarded? Boom, great. Here's how the onboarding works with Incendius, blah, 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 payment and contract, blah, blah. And it's essentially just taking them through like everything, right? And then it's also going to ask them another question as well. Just letting them know that, look, at the end, just book an onboarding call and you'll pretty much be able to be good to go. So you guys can kind of see how this works. I'm just going to delete this here, deletes, and then we're just going to delete this here as well. So yeah, that's essentially how it's going to work. Now let's go back into the automations tab and I'll show you guys exactly how to create this, right? So we're in N8N right now. If you guys don't know what N8N is, I really highly suggest you guys kind of like, study it a little bit more since it's been out for a while now. But this isn't like a huge fancy automation where you need Claude Code and stuff like that. So, all you really just need is, just N8N and credentials, and you'll be good to go. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into Slack trigger, right? So we're going to come into the first node, and we're going to have this as the Slack trigger node. You want to make sure that your credential is here, and then you want to connect your credential. So where it says create new credential, just click that. I'm not going to go through the hassle of creating one because I already have one, and you guys could just go into YouTube and just look it up, look up like a 1-minute video on how to create your credentials on Slack, and you'll be good to go. Once you create your credential, you want to make sure that the trigger is on bot-app mention. There's going to be a lot of other ones, but you just want to make sure that it's on bot-app mention. And then if you want this CSM to be in one specific channel, turn this off. If you want this to be able to be in every single channel, just have this whole workspace or just toggle this trigger on. After that's done, we're going to come into AI agent. Like I said, this is very simple. This is leave all of the things that is the automation, right? We're going to come to AI agent, make sure that this is labeled as defined below. Prompt user, you guys can just pretty much create this. I'll let you guys take a screenshot of this. And then we're going to have the system message pertaining to, so let's open this up and you guys can take a screenshot. You are a client success manager. Your job is to respond to user queries who are clients of Ascendius agency. Your business, of course, with accurate client success manager responses. Do not hallucinate. If you don't know the answer, definitely say so. Hashtag tool, use the Google Doc tool attached to refer to the latest client communication policy guidebook and onboarding checklist. Now, this right here, you could just, we'll come to this in a second. This is a tool, so I'll show you guys exactly how to use that. But that's essentially it for the AI agent. Then you want to make sure that this gets triggered by by send a message, right? So by connecting your credential, of course, resource message operation as send, and then send message to channel, and then by ID, just pretty much just copying this right here, and then simple message, message text, boom, and then message timestamp to reply to. You don't have to worry about that. You can just make sure you can toggle these two as well. Now we're going to come into the AI agent right here. Chat model, I just use OpenAI chatbot. I use GPT-5-mini. But also make sure that you connect your credential on ChatGPT as well. If you don't know, I'm pretty sure there's a 1-minute video where you can watch on YouTube to connect your credentials. Simple memory, you want to make sure that you just have this as you can have honestly, I know 15 is too much, but you can just have this as 10 or honestly 5. I would say 8. No, honestly, I would say 10, but I just put this as 15. And if you guys don't know what this is the amount of like memory on how many message back and forth goes until it stops, remembering the whole conversation. Now, this is where the tool comes in. So this is the Google Docs for my communications SOP, and you can attach any, like pretty much any type of SOP in here, and it'll essentially ask any questions. If you don't have, for example, if I don't have these right here, it's not going to know what to say because it's not going to go to the Google Documents, right? So you guys can just, it's very simple. I'm not going to show you guys my Google Documents because it's, it's for my business and I don't want you guys to copy anything since it's your guys' business. So just, pretty much come here, Google Docs, set automatically resource as document and operation as get, and then very self-explanatory. Make sure that this is toggled on, but you just literally copy and paste your Google document URL here and then just connect it. And then now this one is a different document for the client onboarding and SOP. Same thing, just copy the URL for this into here. And if you want to add more tools and more SOPs, pretty self-explanatory, right? Boom, Google Docs, boom, right? Set automatically, boom, 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 drive name, boom, and then folder name or just pretty much stuff like that, right? So we're gonna make sure that this is get. So we're gonna get and then just put in the URL, make sure that this is toggled on, and then put in the URL and you're good to go. So yeah, very simple. And yeah, hopefully we're just gonna publish this again one more time just in case. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. This was a very simple automation that anyone can honestly build in I want to say 30 minutes. So if you guys have any questions on what other types of videos you guys want to see, leave it down in the comments below. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.